Okay. I want to welcome everybody back. Sincerely, apologies for not hearing me. So I had to face the technical issue. So thank you for your patience. So we are going to continue with the training. So like what I said when I was introducing myself earlier on. So I was trying to let everyone know that this particular training is organized for pupils from the age of 7 to 14. So basically, the training is for little ones. So what we are doing is to train schools so that they can go to their various schools to actually like train their little ones on how to be trained, on how to be safe on the internet. So we are going to be going through this slide. So this slide is what is going to be guiding us through the course of this training, right? So let's start. Okay, so like I said earlier, this training is for little ones. So whenever you are having this training with your students, it is very important to give the student room for them to participate in this training. So once in I want us to know that this training is not it's not a one-off thing. It's not it's not only meant for teacher to be talking only in the training. So whenever you're having this training with students, you need to give room for the students to also contribute. That is, let them contribute, let them talk. It's supposed to be a kind of interactive session. So the conversation should not be limited to teachers alone. Now we have some technique we are going to be adopting in the course of this training. Right. So we are talking about internet, and I think it is very important for us to find out how often the students use the internet. Right. So you can ask them to raise their hand if they have ever used the internet before. You can ask them to raise their hand if they use the internet once a month, or ask them if they use the internet once a week. So with this question, the students will be eager to like follow up with you in the conversation. So they'll be eager to know what is next. Right. So let's go to the next slide and let's see what we have. So this particular slide is still in line with the technique for this training, that is giving room for the student to participate in the training, right? To allow them to pour their mind. So we can still go further to ask them how they use the internet, right? Because majority of parents and teachers believe that the student only go on the internet to do their assignments, right? But we might be surprised that the students are doing more than their assignment these days. They can go as far as going on YouTube, going into some deeper websites that we never can parent cannot even thought of. So let's ask them how they use the internet. So we can ask them, do you use the internet to chat with friends? Do you use the internet to do your homework? Do you use the internet to share photos of yourself and family? Do you use the internet to share funny photos and videos? Right. So with these questions, we are going to anticipate different answers from them, depending on how they are using the internet. But one thing I can assure you is that the students are using the internet to do more things. It's not limited to only their assignments. They are using it for other things. So we need to find out. So another technique that we're going to be adopting in this training is putting the student into pairs of group. Put them in pairs of group. So we can put them in pairs of like 4 group, depend on the number, depend on the capacity of the class. So you can put them in pairs of group. So by the time you are throwing question, you can just throw questions to each group. So with that, the student will be able to follow along with the training. So let's see what we have in the next slide. So I'm sure we still remember the topic of this training, that is how we can ensure that our little ones are safe and protected on the internet. So this is why we're going to be talking about some characters on the internet. So there are some characters on the internet, just like in real life, just like in our neighborhood, we have different characters, right? So as well on the internet, there are characters. So in a nutshell, these people are called the bad guys. So they are called the bad guys. So despite the fact that the internet is a very good place to be, despite the fact that everybody wants to be using the internet, this is what is trending in the world, we should be careful, especially our little ones. They should be careful. They should be on the lookout for some threats. There's some threats on the internet. So the five type of guys we can encounter on the internet include the oversharer, the hacker, the fisher, and the troublemaker. So these are the 5 type of character we can encounter on the internet. So during the course of this training, we are going to talk about them. We are going to pick them one after the other to discuss them, to see the threats they can pose on the internet, and how to discover, how to know if somebody is a fisher, how to know if somebody is an hacker, if somebody is a troublemaker or a sharer. So we are going to dive into it and discuss them. So before we start discussing them, another thing that is worthy of note in this training is the fact that this training is for little ones. I'm sure we still remember, and we want to be using the word like hero and heroine. Like we need to bring it down to their levels. These are little ones. We want to bring it down to their level so that they can catch up. So you can just ask them randomly that who wants to be an hero. You know, they'll be very happy, the rest of their hand. So for us to be able to overcome the bad guys, it's very important for us to train our little ones to be an internet hero. Right, so to be an internet hero, there are 5 characteristics of an internet hero. We're going to be discussing this in the course of the training. The first one is be sharp and share with care. The second one, be strong and secure your secret. The third one, be alert, don't fall for fake. The next one, be kind. Of course, it is good to be kind. And the last one, be brief. If you are not sure, try to discuss with a trusted adult. So we can see that these features is tailored to suit our young one. Although that does not mean that adults cannot take good thing from this. That does not mean that adults cannot learn from this, but it's basically tailored for little one. So I'm getting excited about this training. So in a nutshell, this is what we're going to be discussing in the course of the training. So join me as we proceed. Okay, so this is the first characteristic of an internet hero. Be sharp and share with care. So let's talk about it. You agree with me that today one of the most important things that people do on the internet is sharing stuff, sharing information on the internet. This is very popular. People sharing on the internet, and we shouldn't be surprised that our little one, they're already sharing. They're already sharing. They might not share in our present, but as far as they are able to get access to phone and gadgets, they are already sharing. So we are going to be talking on the importance of sharing. How we need to train the students to be careful when they are sharing on the internet. The effect of sharing too much on the internet. So looking at what we have on our screen, this is an illustration trying to let us know that when you share things on the internet, it go viral and it's no longer, within your power. So the internet connects us, it connects everybody together. And once we share it, it doesn't matter whether you're in Nigeria or any part of the world. Once you release something to the internet, believe me, it go out of your reach. So you no longer have power over it. You cannot control it. You can share something in Nigeria, and before you know it, people in other countries are already seeing it. So this is why we need to create the indulgence in the students to let them know that they need to be careful when they are sharing. So let's see a sample of how people share on the internet. So this is a video. Whenever the teachers, whenever you're having this training with the students, you can ask them to raise up their hand if they've ever seen this picture before, right? So I'll allow them to raise their hand and put it down. So this picture, it's a video actually. It's a video of a man called Salt Bay. So Salt Bay made a video of himself where he was preparing a barbecue meat. So Salt Bay shared this information on the internet. So let's see what happens to this video. Now, the video of Salt Bay has over 6 million views as at 3rd June 2019, and it has been remade all over the web. I'm sure we can see what is on our screen. So a lot of people have tried to mimic Salt Bay's video, try to come out with their own version of the video. So this is just a signal to tell us that what we share on the internet is capable of being reproduced, it's capable of being shared around. So teachers should make a lot of emphasis on this and let the students know that if you are going to share at all, you need to be mindful of what you are sharing. Let's look at another example. This is another video. This time around, this video, they released this video to YouTube view on YouTube. So it is important to remember that anything you share has the potential to be forwarded. Although looking at this video, this is just a funny video, right? But what sort of if this video is a kind of one embarrassing video, that is how it's going to go viral. So we need to be careful when we are sharing. Whenever you are engaging the students on this training, try to them that they need to be what they want to share. Let's go. So basically, as I am moving on in the training, I'm going to try as much as possible to be connecting the bad guys and the characteristics of the internet hero. I'm going to be connecting them together so that we know how they relate. So this is the oversharer. So the oversharer share too much of information online. They can share information about you and your friend. They can compromise your security. So you never know who of your friend or followers could be oversharer. So you never know. So I'm sure you already know who I'm talking about. Those people that love to spread information about others, they can spread information, they spread unverified information. I'm sure that at some point you have either seen or heard about a picture or a post that got out of hand because of screen sharing. Yeah, I'm sure we can relate to this. Right. So we need to bring it out to the level of the student. We need to let them know that they need to be on the lookout for oversharer. Oversharer can be anybody. It can be your best friend. All the only thing oversharer is waiting for is just for you to share something. They're just waiting for you to post something on the internet, and they will help you to like circulate it. That is their work. So we need to bring it down to the level of the student. We need to help them to understand that oversharer, they are on the internet. So we need to be able to like identify them. So now we've talked about how we need to train the students to be careful when they are sharing, and how they need to be on the lookout for oversharer. So the next thing I think we want to talk about now is how we can prevent people from seeing what we share. You know, how we can restrict some people from seeing what we are sharing, right? So how we can personalize our information on the internet. So let's go to the next slide and learn more about this. So we're going to be talking about settings on our gadgets, settings on our various social media. So as a young one and as a teacher, we need to train the student that if there's information they don't want other people to see, they can always go to their settings to adjust their setting. Right? They can always go to their setting to actually like adjust it. So looking at this scenario we have on the screen, you can see what is being played out here. So it's a conversation between two friends. So what this actually means that they're gossiping on the internet. The first person say, "I hate my teacher," and the friend is responding that, "Me too." Like unknowingly to them, they forgotten that their teacher is one of their friends on that particular platform, and the teacher is responding back like, do you realize we are friends online?" This is a very funny scenario. So that is why we need to train the students to be conversant with their settings, right? So we can actually like decide who want to see our information, who want to see what we are sharing on the internet. So let's move further and learn more about this. Another thing I want us to do whenever we're having this training is to try and relate this with a real life experience, real life scenario. Now, talking about adjusting your settings, we all know that despite the fact that you allow people to come into your room, that does not mean that they will not be going into your private stuff. You want to distinguish between your private stuff and where people can just go. For example, in your room, you might not want people to go into your room. You might just limit people into the sitting room. So the same thing applicable to adjusting and getting yourself familiarized with your settings. So with that, you can actually like cut out. Let me put it that way. You can cut out some people from getting access into your information, especially the one you don't want people to see. So teachers should endeavor to encourage the students to get themselves familiarized with their settings. If they don't know how to go about it, they should always feel free to talk to a trusted adult. It could be their parent, their teacher, to just show them a way around, going about their settings. Right. So I'm going to move to the next slide now and see what we have. So we're still on the concept of sharing. We are still on the concept of sharing. This particular video, it represents how people can share positively on the internet, right? I'm not going to play this video. I'm not going to play this video, but by the time we share this document with schools, teachers should be able to play this video whenever they're having the training with their students. So, like I've said, the video is all about how people can share positively on the internet. So if we are saying that little ones should be careful when they are sharing, that does not mean that they can't share at all. At times sharing can be good. You will agree with me. Like when maybe you see a very good information that you think your friend might need. I mean, there's nothing stopping you from passing it across, from sharing it, right? So I'm sure we are getting it, right? So let's go to the next slide. Right. So based on what we've been discussing so far as regards sharing, right? So this is a kind of you know a kind of structure to let the student know what they can share with everyone, what they can share with everyone, what they can share with family and friend. Right. So looking at the table we can see on our screen, we have some information that you can share with that is not okay, to share with anyone without permission. We have the one that is okay to share with family and friend. Right. So, for example, I'm going to take one example here. Which one? Which one? So, let's take email password. So, for example, it is not a good idea to share your email password with everyone. It's not a good idea, right? So teachers should remember to bring it down to the level that the student will understand, and let's point it out to them that these are information you can share. These are information you can share. Another example is a nasty message about your teacher. So we need to let the student know they need to be responsible of what they need to be responsible for what they are sharing on the internet. So I'm going to move forward. So this particular chapter is let's play. So what is let's play? So this is how it goes. In every chapter of this presentation, we are going to be having some time out to just play. It's a game actually to test our brain on what we've been discussing in that particular chapter. So I want to welcome you to the Force of a Kind. It's a game. Let's put it that way. It's a game. So let's play. So meanwhile, I'm going to be anticipating your response in the comment box. So as I'm going over the question, I'm going to be expecting teachers to, this is the only way I will know that you're actually following the training. So I'm going to be expecting you to, give me your feedback in the comment box. So let's take the first one. Once it is on the internet, stay there forever. True or false? I mean, I already revealed the answer actually. Okay, let's play the next one. So I'm anticipating your response in the comment box. This is another one. 1.37 billion people use the internet. True or false? Yeah, I want us to drop our comments. Right, so I'm going to reveal the answer. Let's see. It's actually true. So a lot of people are already on the internet. And believe me, this number is only going to increase. With time, a lot of people are getting exposed every day. That is where the world is going. So that emphasize, the importance of this training, especially for young ones. So let's go further. People like becoming meme and going viral. True or false? Okay, it's mostly false. It's mostly false. Let's take the next one. Sharing online can reveal your location. True or false? True or false? Right. I can see people are already commenting in the comment box. Thank you. Let's see what the answer say. It's actually true. This is another one. If I don't share with my parents, they won't see it. Let's see what we have. It falls. Okay. Permit me to congratulate us for completing the first chapter of this training. Right. I hope we are following and getting it, and I want us to go back to our school to actually replicate this with the students. So let's move forward with the training. So the next chapter we're going to be discussing is be strong and secure your secrets. So let's dive in. Right. So like I said in the previous chapter, I let us understand that the bad guys, you know, they are on the internet, and for us to overcome them, we need to be an internet hero. We need to be at the top of our game. Like let me put it that way. We need to be at the top of our. We shouldn't be carried away whenever we're on the internet, because some people, all they are there for is just to take advantage of people if we allow them to. So another bad guy that we have here is the bad guy. Is the hacker, right? So what are the possible dangers that they can pose? They might access your account and your personal information. So this is what they do. They just take advantage of your negligence. They can just take it and um, you know get access to your personal information. So let's learn more about them. Okay, so this particular chapter is going to, because we're talking about hacker, and one important thing that hacker can actually take advantage of is our password, because before hacker can get access into your personal information, they need to know your password. For example, maybe your popular social media, they might want to hack it, or even your bank account, and all that. So this is why we've chosen our password as a very good example. And we shouldn't forget that this training is for little one. So we need to let them know the importance of password, of protecting our password. Right. Looking at what we can see on the screen, these are password, you know, and you won't be surprised that in this age, some people are still using this kind of password. I mean, all these passwords, they are easy to guess. I mean, not talk of hacker. Ordinary person can just guess this. So what you're going to do, when you're having this training with the student, is that you're going to put them in group, like I've said. So ask them to guess what is missing from the password that we have on the screen. You'll be surprised that they will tell you. They will tell you. So not talk of hackers. So let's move forward. As you can see, all these passwords are just too easy to guess. So now that we've discussed about weak password, we know what a weak password is. Now, what is a strong password? What is a strong password? Um, how can we explain it to young one? How can we explain a strong password to a kid of 8 years old, of 7 years old, of 9 years old? How can we help them to understand what a strong password is? So let's dive in. So before we continue, a strong password should include 8 to 12 characters. That is the minimum. A strong password should contain 8 to 12 characters. It must be mixed. It must be a mixture of numbers and letters. It must include uppercase, lowercase characters, and special character. So with these 4 characteristics of a strong password, I'm sure by the time we put them together, those hackers, they will try. They will try before they, before they get hold of our password. So how do we bring it to the level of the student? Let's go forward and learn more. Right. So having discussed with them, having trained the student on how to create a strong password. Remember I said we are dealing with young people, yeah? So how do we teach them to memorize their password? Imagine a 7 years old kid is trying to like put together password that include 8 to 12 character, that include special characters. So how do you want them to memorize it? So let's learn about it. So these are different formula we can use to create a very strong password, right? So put the students in pairs of group. So ask them to mix all of this together. That is missing words with letters, missing special character with numbers. Forming a very strong password, as you can see on the screen. Right. So having gotten to this stage, don't let us forget that we are dealing with little ones, and the best way we can help them to memorize their password, a strong password now, is to break it down to their level. Let's make it fun. It should be fun. What do I mean by that? So you can ask them to tell a story. Yes, let's put it that way. You can ask them to tell a story. It can be a story of their favorite day, their birthday, a very good event. Maybe they like going to swim, they like visiting the gym and all that. So you can also ask them to tell a story. So like the story we're having on the screen, the story is saying, my little brother Hassan was born in December. This is a story. So you can ask them to take the first letter of each word, and put it together, to form a strong password. The first letter of each word, just ask them to pick it, put together to form a very strong password. Let's look at a sample of this. So just like I've said, use the first letter from some of the word in your phrase, and we're going to get this. Yes, to a very large extent, this is a very strong password. This is a very strong password. Yeah, let's continue. Right, so this is another way of creating a very strong password. Change some letter into numbers and symbols. Change some letters into numbers and symbols. Just put them together that way. So it will be easy for them to create a very, very strong password. Let's see more examples. That don't let it be easy for hackers. One thing we should know that they are human beings too. They are human beings too. So they can't help themselves. So they can only take advantage of our negligence, just like I've said. So let's move forward. So at this point, what I think we want to do is to, I mean, the student are already in pairs of group. You know, you can ask them randomly, can they remember the password? That is after you might have allowed them to put down the password. You can ask them to put it on a sheet of paper. You can ask them to come out to write on the board, you know, and all that. So after that, we should encourage them to, you know, when they are through, they should trash the paper because it's a password. They should trash it. They should throw it into the bin, you know. So after that we can just, you know, call on them randomly, like, can you remember your password? I'm sure they're going to raise up their hand. So if you see them raising up their hand, that means they're getting it. So that means they're getting it. So let's go to the next slide. Okay, this is yet another opportunity for us to relax in this presentation, to play some game based on what we've learned so far, right? So we're going to be asking some questions based on what we discussed, and as always, I'll be expecting teachers to drop their comments in the comment box, right? So let's take the first one. Use a unique password for each of your important accounts. Do or don't. I'm sure we know what I'm talking about here. So let me see what people are saying. Okay, so let's review the answer actually. Let's review the answer. So it's actually do. So you should always use a unique password for each of your platform. So don't cultivate the habit of using a single password for, you know, your platforms. It should be a password per, you know, platform. I hope we're getting. Yeah, this number. This another use information, name, address, password, do or don't. So this one is don't. So it is not advisable for us to be using our personal information like our name, you know, our phone number as our password, because anybody that knows you, for example, like that knows you as James, the person can easily guess. Okay, probably his password is James, you know. So you shouldn't do that. So this another one, use a password name or your favorite baseball team. Do or don't. So it's actually done as well. So let's go on. Okay, this is another example. Use at least 8 characters for your password. I'm sure we all know this. So this is do. So you want your password to be very strong. It has to have a long character, at least 8 to 12. So we should always bring it down to the level of the student. We should let them know the importance of having a very lengthy password. Let's continue. Share your password with people so you don't forget it. I mean, this particular one, our little one might want to forfeit him of this, right? Probably those of them that have not mastered their password yet, they might just, okay, my friend, maybe they want to tell their friend in class, please help me to keep my password. So we should discourage them from doing this. You know, I mean, the only person they can do this with is probably their parents at home, not even their close friend. So they shouldn't share their password with a third party. Let me put it that way. It's actually not. Yeah, don't. Log out of your account when and after you finish on the public computer. This is very common. Probably you are using your friend laptop and you just quickly log into your, your personal various social media or any platform. So we should always remember to log out if it is not our personal computer. Once you are done with it, log out immediately. So this, so I want to believe this is the last one. Okay, tick remember my password when using a public computer. This is also common. So maybe you are creating an account on with a particular platform and your browser is asking you to remember the password. I think we should discourage this because if you remember it, next time the person can just open the platform and voila, you just log in. So let's go to the next slide. Okay, I'm sure whenever we see jumping up, it's tell us complete once after we complete that chapter. So we're moving to the next chapter. I'm sure they are happy as well. So let's move on to the next slide. Right. So this one has to do with how to be alert on the internet, how we can train the student to be alert. You know, a lot of things on the internet can be away. So as a little one, you need to be alert for fake. So let's dive in on it. So reason why we also think. So who are the features? Features pretenders. Let me put it that way. So they can be your close friend. They can even disguise to be your parent. So they can get access into your personal information by tricking you. They can harm your device with malware and all that. So teachers should please bring this training to the level of the students. We need to let them understand who the feature is. They are there on the internet, and we should be on the lookout for them. So we are going to be taking some scenario and example of how we can detect if the particular information or fake, and how we can know if there's a feature. We can learn a little more, know if the feature is behind it. So looking at this example, this is a message received by someone, and the message says, "Oh my God, click here to win $1 million and see everyone who is in love with you." So this so it is to click on links unless you are 100% sure it's legitimate. This one for this, you can just click on a link, right? So teachers should, help them understand that. So you should where this link is taking you to, because every link is somewhere, and a feature can just be behind that link. So we need to be careful of clicking on links on the internet. Let's see more example. So but if we know that, so the address is inside the browser, but for what we are seeing inside the tab is different. The address is different. So in other words, we should always be careful. We should let the student know that before they can continue with a particular site, or let's say the web address is correlated on a particular site, we need to ask a question like, does this site include indication of trustworthy sites like badges? Does the site URL match the name? Just like I've said earlier, does the site URL match the name and title you are looking for? Does the offer seem too good to be true? Some offer can be true, it's too good to be true. You know, and it works. So you have // then preceded by a green padlock. This is the right, and this is very common with sites. So HTTPS, I'm sure we know what I'm talking about with a green. So if you see a site without this, you need to question the authenticity of this site. Like is this site real? You know. So let's see the next one. Is the person or the site asking you to reveal private information? You know, so these are very important questions to ask whenever we find ourselves. Before you continue with any site, you need to put this in your head like, this site, is it real or fake? Right. So let's go further and play. So with what we learned so far in this chapter, I'll be asking us some questions. So you're going to be telling if it is real or fake. This is a message, and the message is saying, the subject is saying important membership information. The person that sent it, membership at cinemas.com. Dear Shone, a big thank you for your membership with us, because you have been such an amazing member. We would like to upgrade you to premium at no extra cost. You know, so I want to fake. Yeah, I want you to tell me if this is real, if it's real or fake. Yeah, this is another example. So this site looks like a product site. You know, looking at the site from the URL, I mean the web address now, to the logo, to the product. You know, putting together everything. You should be able to know that this site is real. Yes, this site is real because the URL correlates with logo. The logo correlates with the product. So it's a donuts and small shops website. So we can see clearly that this site is real. So this is how we can detect if a site is real or not. Yes, this is another example. I'm sure you might have been seeing this kind of message before on our phone. You know, I'm talking about all those pop-up that just come up from your phone, like, congratulations, your phone an iPhone, you know, without applying for iPhone, you know. So this message they're very common. But little one can be very eager to forfeit him of this. So we need to be beside them and, you know, try to guide them that if you don't apply for anything, don't be eager to accept any offer. Don't be eager to accept any offer. So this is for the little one. I'm sure adults are conversant with this, but Little ones should be guided. They should be encouraged not to be too eager to accept offer, especially when they don't apply for any offer. So let's continue. So I'm going to this is going to be the last example I'm going to take from this chapter because of our time. I'm going to skip the rest. But the most important message I'm passing here is that we need to train our little ones to be careful. They need to be able to know if sight is real or fake. So let me take this example before we move forward. Hello, my friend. I have won the lottery. I want to share my good luck with you. I will give you $1,000. But first, please send me your bank details for full name and password so that I can give the money to you. I mean, adults can easily judge that this is fake. Adults can easily judge that this is fake, right? So let's bring it to the level. Let's bring it down to the level of the student. Let's make a lot of emphasis on fake messages. When the students are not when they are not sure, they should try to talk to their parents or any trusted adult. So I'm going to flip over the rest of the sample to move to the next chapter. Yes, we just finished another chapter, and we are moving to the next chapter. And I'm sure we are getting close. We are getting close to the end of this to the end of this presentation. So let's quickly take this. So I'm sure you remember that be kind is one of the characteristics of an internet hero. So we've said a lot. We've said a lot in this morning. We've talked about how the students how they need to be careful when they are sharing, how they need to be on the lookout for hackers. But all of this sound like the internet is a very bad place. No, 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 no. The purpose of this training is not to discourage the student from using the internet. Is to create that indulgence, like you need to be careful when you're on the internet. So I'm sure what this chapter is about to teach us is how to be kind. So despite all we've discussed so far, there's still room for us to be careful, to be kind. Sorry, to be kind on the internet. So let's learn about this. Okay, so the troublemakers. The troublemakers, they are one of the bad guys on the internet, and basically, in summary, they can hurt your feelings. These are people with bad emotions. I mean, we see them every day on the internet. They are the one you see with bad emojis. They can spoil your day for you. So we need to be careful on how we interact with them. We need to just be careful. So let's talk about them. So let's look at ways to spread kindness on the internet. Despite all of these, despite what we've discussed so far, let's discuss the way to spread kindness online. So these are scenario. So whenever teacher gets to this point, they should put it. Yeah, I'm sure the student already by now. The student already on their pairs of groups, so you can throw questions to them like, okay, these are scenarios. So you can just ask them like, what can they do in this scenario? So like the first example is saying, someone found your friend's phone and sent a really mean message about another student to a bunch of people on a soccer team. So in this kind of scenario, what can you do? You can just throw this question to them. What can you do to share kindness? What can you show to encourage the person? What can you do? So let's move forward. So this is another example. Someone is posting seriously mean comments about one of the students in the class on your class blog. What can you do in this kind of scenario? So let's allow the student to talk. It's like I said from the beginning of the training. This training is not it's not a one-off things. Yeah, it's supposed to be an interactive session between teacher and students. So we should always seek for their response before we move forward. Right. So let me say this one. There's an online game that a bunch of your friends play a lot. This one time, one player starts saying really nasty stuff about one of your friends who is playing, and they just won't stop. You know, students, this one are fond, they are fond of doing this. They can be bullying themselves. You know, they can be bullying. So this does not only happen in physical life. It also happen on the internet. For example, in a class group, let's say for example a class group chat, probably on one of these popular um, social media like WhatsApp. We can have class group platform or probably on Facebook, and this kind of issue can just come up. So we should let the students know that they need to be kind. We should discourage them from bullying. Discourage them from bullying. Yeah. So let's go on. So to be kind on the internet, teachers should encourage the student not to pass on gossip. This is very important. They shouldn't pass on gossip, right? So if a particular information is not directly meant for you, why put in your mouth? Just keep short, or just tell your teacher about it. You don't need to start passing it around. You know, from there it can degenerate into a kind of class chaos. So the second one, block inappropriate behaviors. So whenever you notice any inappropriate behaviors, just block it. You need to try to separate yourself from them. The third one, always support people on the internet. So it's not only supporting people, it does not limit to supporting people physically. You can support people on the internet. So you can be an upstander, and take responsibility. So these are 5 ways to, be kind on the internet. So let's learn more about them. Right. So we just finished another chapter. So we're moving to the last chapter of this training, and I want to believe we are all having fun. Like I'm having fun. I need to say this. It has been an interesting session, and I believe my teachers that are watching us are also having fun. So let's move to the next chapter, which is the last chapter. So be brief. When in doubt, talk it out. Right. So particularly little ones, they need to be brief whenever you're on the internet. So when you are not sure about something, feel free to discuss with a trusted adults. You can talk to your teacher. You can talk to your parents. Right. So let's learn more about them. Right. So to be brief on the internet, whenever you see something, always say something. Talk it out. That is, discuss with a trusted adult, your parents. In most cases, always get proof, right? Before you pass on information, before you pass on gossip, always get proof, and don't be afraid. Yeah. So let's talk about it. So this another um check, just to check what we've done. So this one, these are scenario that can come up, and it's an avenue for us to test, our briefness. So majority of the scenario here, the this one, they will be fall victim of this. But as a teacher, we need to train them. So like this one is saying you get a shot from someone with whom you are not familiar with, a strange person, and the person is saying for the first time is telling you, you are cute. What is your address? Can I come over to hang out? I mean, but little one, they might, because this one are fond of, they're fond of playing along, if I can put it that way. So we need to train them. So in this kind of scenario, they should always report to their parents. Mom, okay, so this is what I encountered someone online today and it's asking me to go out and all that. You need to talk to your parent and take permission from your parents. So if it is good, I'm sure your parent can decide. Right. So let's move to the next slide. Right. So you, for example, you accidentally download a virus onto your computer. How can you respond? Right. So this one might be, they might be too shy of this. Right. Probably they're using their gadgets, and they just a notification for virus just come up. They might not know their way around it. They can just continue with what they are doing. Right. So that is why we need to always monitor our little one. We need to always monitor them. So let's take more examples. Yeah. So you see a message that says, "Everyone wear purple tomorrow, but don't tell little." This is another scenario that can be common among little ones. They might want to beef themselves. Let's discourage that kind of habit. Why shouldn't we tell let's it's not a secret cause. So we should always discourage them from this kind of habit. So this is not limited to physical interaction. It also happen online. So let's go to the next example. A student posts a group photo in a public account and you hate the way you look in it. Would you report that photo or not? How can you respond? So in this kind of situation, it's just for the person in question to just go to the admin of the group. Okay, just gently tell the person, oh, I don't like the way I look on that picture. Please, can we retake another one? Please, is there a way you can remove me? And so, it's not for you to go and be fighting the person. Like, why do you put me that way? Why do I appear like this inside that photo? So we need to train our little ones to be very kind, right? They should not get too emotional, right? Let's put it that way. So let's go for um I'm sure at this junction we are done with the training, and I'm going to recap everything we've done so far, just a kind of summary. So by now you should be aware that this training is meant for our little ones from the age of 7 to 14, right? So that is why we break it down, to be as simple as ABC. So I encourage teachers to come down to the level of student whenever they're having this training. They should make sure the students are following along. They're following along. So the major key point we discussed in this training today is how we can encourage our students to be secure on the internet. We discuss the bad guys, right? Fees are fees in relation to how we can overcome them, how we can be on top of our game, how our little one can be on top of our game, how we can open their eyes to protecting themselves on the internet. I mean, personally, I've learned a lot in the course of this training, and I believe everyone has done as well. So I want to once again welcome us and thank God for showing up once again. My name is Busayo Motuka. I work at Code 14, and if there's any question we want to, ask, if there's any inquiry, we should always get in touch with Bukola. I'm sure Bukola will be ready to help us. Once again, thank you. See you next time. Bye.